So I dated my ex for 3 years and found out he didn't think I was good enough to marry, but I was good enough to keep on the side. Since he never introduced me to his family, they live in a different country, so I let him use that as an excuse. I should have realized that our relationship was just about intimacy than anything else on his side. I found out because I asked him what would happen if I got pregnant one day. At this point, I already knew I was pregnant, and he told me that would ruin things. He was blunt and said that while he loved me, he couldn't marry me, but things between us didn't need to end. I broke up with him on the spot and blocked him on everything when he tried to convince me to come back. I still hadn't told him I was pregnant, and I had no intentions of telling him until the baby was born. My plan didn't work out because he found out when I was 6 months. Our son is a year old, and since my ex found out I was pregnant, he has been trying to convince me to marry him. We took our son to visit his family this month. His family has been very nice, but they also believe that us getting married would be the best thing for our son. His grandfather asked me yesterday why I wouldn't marry him, considering he could give our son and me everything we could ever want. So I told them what he had said to me. They weren't happy with him, and after I left the room, they told him off. Now my ex is angry at me for dragging his family into our issues, and because I won't let go of his past mistakes. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. It is annoying that he wanted to marry you after you had a kid. That's not a way to start a marriage, and he meant what he said the first time. Also, screw lying to his family to make him look good. He was honest with you, and you were honest with his family. Normalize outing awful men to their families, and please do not give your son his last name. Don't even put this man on the birth certificate. Do immediately contact a lawyer so you can get things in writing like visitation rights and child support. Everyone's the idiot here. You did the right thing breaking up with him. You shouldn't be with someone who disrespects you and doesn't value you. You absolutely should have told him you were pregnant though. He's the father and has a right to be a part of his child's life. He should have been given time to prepare for fatherhood, and planning to spring it on him after the child was already born wasn't a mature way to handle the situation. For real, she asked him that stupid test question while already pregnant, and she planned to tell him after the kid was already born. I can see why he didn't want to marry her. The emotional maturity on both sides of this is so low, it's almost unbelievable. Everyone's the idiot here, and this kid will probably be pretty messed up being raised by these two. You are the idiot. Not everyone wants to get married, and that's okay. He was honest about not wanting to get married, introducing you to family, etc. However, when he found out that he would be a father, which you completely lied to him about, he wanted to prioritize the relationship with the child. He wanted to marry the child's mother, which is usually a bad idea, but he wanted to show commitment to the child. Instead of maturely coming up with a co-parenting situation where the child feels loved on all sides, you just wanted to insult him to his family. My 26 female, husband 50, has sent me gifts at work every day since we started dating. He usually sends me a rose and a coffee with a note wishing me a good day or just telling me that he loves me. Sometimes he even sends me chocolates or food from my favorite restaurant. He's a very romantic and attentive man, and I love that. But my coworker, 40s female, doesn't like it at all. Yesterday he sent me some croissants and a coffee with a note saying he loved me. When my coworker saw it, she said I should tell him to stop, that it's not appropriate to receive gifts every day. Another coworker told her that she was bitter and that it's nice to have such a loving husband, that since I'm pregnant, it was understandable that he has spoiled me so much. Still, she insisted that it was not appropriate in any way. If he doesn't stop, she will talk to our boss. She said that she would tell him that she feels uncomfortable, that I'm not professional enough, and she wants another office mate. And that made me so mad because I'm professional enough. The things my husband sends me don't bother anyone, and they're not a distraction to me either. But according to her, they are. So I told her that it's not my fault that she's single and does not receive anything from anyone, that maybe if she were not so bitter, someone would send her at least a coffee. She got angry and now she told everyone that I was rude, that if I didn't apologize, she would talk to HR to see what they can do with me. When I told her that I didn't think of being single as a bad thing, I only said it because she sounded like an envious person, that's all. But apparently what I said hurt her. I think I should clarify that he does not show up to my work to deliver the gifts in person. He usually sends me breakfast because I can't have breakfast early in the morning. So when he goes to work, he stops by my favorite cafe and he orders what he knows I like and tells them where the order should be delivered. The owners are his friends, so he gives them the notes to be delivered with the order. And last but not least, I receive the order at the entrance. Nobody receives the order for me. That's why I don't understand what bothers her so much. Also, it bothers her that I put photos of my children and my husband on my desk, which doesn't make sense because those photos are on my side of the office. Sadly, this is not the first time she said that I am unprofessional. She thinks having photos of your children in the office is unprofessional. So I don't know how I should act to please her. Am I the idiot? Everyone's the idiot here. So she may be jealous and should not have said anything since it doesn't affect her job. But instead you replied with a personal attack, which puts you at the same level as her. As a random person, I have to say that it is weird that your husband sends you a gift to your place of work every single day since you met each other. That's not romance. That's peeing on your property so everyone knows it's taken. Romance can be public at times, but the workplace is a weirdly public flex. But I had to ask, so is it peeing on your property if the genders were reversed? So if a wife included a note and packed lunch, or sent lunch to her husband with a handwritten note or something, it's considered marking her territory? The coworker was also complaining about the pictures of OP's hubby and kids. She's a bitter old woman. Probably is why she's single with that attitude, calling pictures of families and kids unprofessional. She's the one making a big fuss because she doesn't want a daily reminder of what she can't have because of her poor attitude. Not the idiot. It's not like they are gifts. He sends her coffee and breakfast and a flower. So what? Y'all sound bitter as well. I think that is sweet. That is something my husband and I have done. There is nothing wrong with it at all. Stop trying to make something sweet into something creepy. It's just coffee and food. My sister-in-law, 34, technically my brother's 15-year-long on and off again girlfriend, accused me, female 32, of breaking the girl code because I didn't claim ownership of her pregnancy test. So last Saturday, I hosted a family get-together. At the end of the night, I went to use my personal bathroom. This bathroom is through my bedroom and has previously been off limits since there are 2 other bathrooms for guests to use. In it, I found a positive pregnancy test sitting on top of my tampon box. I might have kept quiet about it, honestly, if my previously diagnosed with depression, anxiety, and acute paranoia husband wasn't in the process of switching medications and hadn't gotten a vasectomy 2 years ago. I showed it to him, and after a good bit of conversation, he was convinced I had no clue what was going on. He is nowhere near where he was when he got diagnosed, but this could have sent him spiraling if he had found it before me. So I was mad and got on the family chat with a picture and asked if someone was attempting to be funny. My mom hopped on immediately and stated it wasn't hers. Hysterectomy almost 25 years ago. Haha, mom. Which started the rest of the women chiming in how it can't be theirs. All except this particular sister-in-law, who texted later and suggested it was maybe one of my older niece's tests. So the group chat got quiet after that for the night. Wednesday, my brother-in-law sent a text to the chat asking if we got the mystery solved, which started a whole conversation about how those with old enough girls determined it didn't belong to their daughter. During that, this sister-in-law texted me directly and explained how she didn't want my brother to find out about the baby until she decided to keep the pregnancy and how to announce it to him if she did. She took the test and hid it in my house. I told her she knew our situation with my husband's vasectomy and his medicine shift, that this was a terrible thing to do to us right now, and not to mention that all my nieces have been spoken to because of her. So why not just do it real quick in a gas station bathroom or something? Before she answered me, I sent a text to the group and said, "Mystery solved." She then private messaged me, asking that I pretend it was a test left over from my pregnancy. Not believable, by the way. My tests are in a shadow box in my living room, along with all the other pregnancy items. Still, by that point, everyone in the group chat figured out the only person left it could be. She then sent a long message to the group, asking if we felt good ruining her plans, and a private message to me, saying I broke girl code and should have just ditched the test somewhere my husband couldn't find, which she also could have done. And she wasted $100 on her surprise for my brother. She hasn't answered any of us yet. My brother said she's still cussing all of us, but he's just embarrassed with how everything went down. What on earth? Who goes to a dinner party with a pregnancy test and leaves it there exposed? This is beyond ridiculous. Can you imagine how the girls who were questioned felt? You are not the idiot, OP. Really, what is wrong with her? She went to your private bathroom to take a pregnancy test. She just left it there, and now she's upset because you found the test and the story you told unfolded? Your poor nieces. She's crazy. Not to mention disgusting, to leave a stick you've peed on laying on someone's counter. Why didn't she just use the guest bath, wrap it up and toss it? No one was going to go through the bathroom garbage can. Someone who wants attention is my guess. She wanted it to be found by OP and wanted drama. Most people who want to hide a pregnancy, I don't know, throw their test in the trash. My decent human being code says not to stash used pregnancy tests in other people's bathrooms and make them play detective. So how can you, OP, possibly be anything but not the idiot? Everyone's the idiot here. This same exact thing happened to me days before my wedding. I had a ton of family staying over at my parents' house, and someone left a pregnancy test in my bedroom, which was being used by several different women, so I had no idea who it belonged to. I threw it out because I didn't want to out anyone. I don't believe someone else's pregnancy test is my business, and I certainly didn't take it personally. I have polycystic ovarian syndrome. I didn't want anyone else to find it and get nosy and do exactly what you did and put a family member on the spot. So I got rid of it. I think finding out if you're pregnant or not can be very emotional and should be private. You took it as a slight to you for some reason and went looking for trouble. You absolutely could have kept this between you and your husband. I disagree that this is the exact same thing. This was OP's bathroom that was off limits, with a husband whose mental health was at risk. And the sister-in-law went entirely out of her way to put it in OP's private space instead of disposing of it herself. And it's not like she couldn't have disposed of it in a different bathroom or thrown it away in either bathroom. This was intentional. She intentionally made it OP's problem. I, female 25, and my husband Hendry, 29, are in the process of adopting 2 cute little twins that will be born in January. The biological mother is a young girl, Gia, who doesn't want to keep them. She's the daughter of a friend of ours, and somehow it got through that we wanted to adopt. So her family called us as soon as they knew that Gia was pregnant. So we've been with her through her pregnancy, and even if she doesn't want to be a mother, she will still be able to visit the twins as often as she wants to because we live in the same city. As soon as we found out about the baby, we began looking for names, and when it was confirmed that it was going to be twins, a boy and a girl, we decided on the names Ellie and Evan. Last week, however, we were informed that Gia had chosen names herself, Walter and Agnes. She didn't choose them because of a relative, just because she thought they sounded cool. I don't think I must mention how outdated the names are, and Hendry and I simply don't like them. But even if the names were great, they are still our babies. We will raise them. Gia said she never wants to visit them, although she will probably change her mind. We insist on naming them. They'll also get our last name and legally be our children, which was decided and agreed on 5 months ago. Gia's family is upset with us for not accepting their real names and is threatening to look for new parents. However, her sister told us that they were just bluffing and hoping for us to back off. Not the idiot. This is a big red flag, though. Are you sure you want to have an open adoption? If they're willing to argue about the kids' names, they're going to be all over you about other things also. Plus, threatening to find another family? I would absolutely do a closed adoption or find another mother. I don't know how arduous the process of finding a pregnant mother is, but I wouldn't trust this girl. So I was adopted. My bio mom knew she was pregnant and found my parents before she gave birth. Although she had chosen my name already, my mom changed it. She had chosen Desiree Rose to honor that my mom made Rose my middle name. My bio mom is still a part of my life. She's fine with my name. Granted, she had a few decades to relax. Moms who are giving up their babies for adoption are also giving up their right to name them. I think you need an attorney ASAP. A child who has already named her babies and is threatening to find another family is a huge bucket of red flags. You are not the idiot, OP. You are the idiot. I totally understand that you don't like those names, but is their name really what matters here? You are getting 2 babies. Do you have any idea how lucky you are? Prospective adopters can wait years for a child. Some never get one. You are getting 2 relatively easily. Are you really going to fight this name thing so hard that you'd risk losing this opportunity? You might never get this chance again. The bio mom is giving you the biggest gift of your life. You are not focusing on the right things here. After we were already married, I found out that it's very common for the older generation of men in my husband's family to keep mistresses as long as they're discreet about it and don't have any outside babies. We went on vacation with my husband's family, including his sister, cousins, and spouses. My sister-in-law needed to get some new clothes because she was supposed to leave earlier than the rest of us, but decided to stay. While we were shopping, the shop assistant was flirting with my husband. His cousin James made jokes about adding her to my husband's collection of girls in every country, and how he always said a leopard never changes his spots, and he knew marriage couldn't stop my husband. Of course, my husband and his other male cousins thought it was the funniest thing ever. But unfortunately, I didn't find it so amusing, and neither did his sister, who told James to shut up. We were supposed to go for dinner that evening, and my husband noticed I wasn't getting ready, so he asked me to hurry up. I told him I didn't want to go. We had an argument where he said James was just joking. I told him I didn't find it funny, and he could take his mistress to dinner instead. He kept insisting he didn't have a mistress, and that James was just making a dumb joke, and he was sorry for laughing. But I refused to budge. In the end, none of the other girls went to dinner with them. We all ended up going somewhere together and wouldn't let them come with us. For the rest of the vacation, my sister-in-law insisted we treat it like a girls' trip, and the boys could do whatever they wanted without us. My husband was angry at me for overreacting to a joke and ruining the family vacation, especially since James apologized too, but things didn't go back to normal. Was I the idiot? So, all the other females on the trip think the exact same as you, and your husband still thinks you're overreacting? I think he needs to learn to read the room better. If half of the group are so angry about a joke that they refuse to be near the other half that thought it was funny, you gotta question the appropriateness of the joke. Joking about a mistress is a deeply disrespectful thing to do. You weren't the only woman fed up with this kind of banter. It is a shame the holiday wasn't what any of you planned it to be, but you are not the idiot for being upset. I will say this, now that you're home, perhaps it is time to move past it. Make it abundantly clear that these kind of jokes are not tolerated, but let it go. If it happens again, then it might be time to worry about the people in your life and reevaluate things. But until then, enjoy life. You are the idiot. The ongoing poor treatment of your husband throughout the vacation makes you the idiot. The reaction was disproportionate to the offense. Yes, ignoring someone and deliberately withholding affection and time with you as punishment is mistreatment. If you're mad at his family, then be mad at them, not him. Your husband's laughter did not deserve to be put in the same basket as his relatives' philandering ways. Your husband probably feels like crap after being treated like a piece of crap. Being mad at a bad joke and the bad behavior of others is one thing and totally valid, but dragging it out placed you firmly in idiot territory.